Good morning, everybody. Hope you all slept well. Hopefully you're not sleeping now. Let me know if you can hear me, if the volume is okay. It's pretty much the same as it is every day, but I always like to check. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart here for the Nasdaq and the weekly chart and the monthly chart. So what do we see potentially happening right here on the Nasdaq? I'll continue when somebody confirms that they can hear me. In the meantime, I'll have some coffee, which I remembered to buy, which is good. I remembered to buy razors. That's good. So I can actually shave later today, which would be nice. Ralph, okay, good morning. Thank you. We have confirmation. How you doing, Ralph? Any trades today? No. Okay, nice. Glad you're doing well. Okay, just watching. Cool. Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let's get started. So it looks to me like there's a potential case of the opposite happening here on the Nasdaq. We're not out of the woods yet. We've got to get through, we got to get really up and through this high, through the VolPro reaction high. So it's not a pure opposite yet, but the fact that we blew through all of this overnight, we have to favor the long side, obviously, today. Be very, very careful from the short side. It is Friday. I mean, really, look, on the weekly, if we say, where are we going? I mean, we've got an extension up here. It's pretty far away, but in these markets, who knows? Trump could send out a tweet. Hey, me and Xi Jinping are best friends now, and boom, the market goes up. You've got these core DMLs live sitting out here. So I don't know, it looks like we're going to probably keep heading higher the rest of the day. So we'll look to play the long side. Ralph, I'm glad you nailed that short from yesterday when I left the stream and said, I kind of gave my opinion that I liked the shorts the rest of the day. Didn't think we were going to trend. And many of you, including Ralph, took advantage of that, which was awesome. I was really happy to hear that. Yeah, so I love when you guys are using VolPro Edge and making it your own and developing your own strategies and making money. That's the goal. Last night, guys, I stopped sharing my own personal results with you guys. I share sometimes, but I don't, it's not really like what VolPro Edge is about. So, from time to time, I let you know how I'm doing. Last night, I had a good night at the open, not at the open, but a couple hours after the open, when I saw the Nasdaq, squeezing up after that big drop at the close. It was pretty obvious that we were going to keep squeezing. So took a couple of nice trades there on my live account, and that worked out. So happy about that. Coming into this morning, having done well last night, it always feels good to trade the next morning when you've already kind of got some in your pocket from the night before. And I must say, I do like Asia a lot. I was looking at my live account, and I've had a lot of success in Asia. Just you catch that opening move, and sometimes it's nice. All right, so let's look at gold. I don't know if you guys remember the end of day analysis from yesterday, but I said there was some support down here at the core DML. We didn't quite get there, but it was close. And I said, where should we go? Probably back up to the middle. And this is a key point, guys, that I pointed out in the end of day analysis, is that you will often cycle from one set of dynamic market levels to another set. And that's what happens a lot. So oftentimes, if I like the overall move, let's say like on gold, I saw that, okay, that's probably an exhaust. We're probably going to push. Well, where are we going to push to? Well, from these, true average, core DML support, back up to extension DML, middle of the envelope. They often make really good targets, guys. So also, for those of you who are kind of struggling to pick up, all the DMLs on the intraday timeframes, Tim Nasi in the Discord, he came up with a good solution that I like. And it's something that I've thought about for you guys too. What he's doing, and we'll look at this maybe later after we're done streaming if we have time, or I'll do a video on it, but he is simply overlaying the DMLs of the daily, and you can do weekly too if you want, but he's just overlaying the DMLs from the daily chart onto a 15-minute chart, and then he's just watching a naked 15-minute chart and how that 15-minute chart is reacting to the daily DMLs that are more spread out. And he's finding really good trades because guess what? These DMLs work really, really well. So, you know, there's lots and lots of different ways to use it. And I think you guys will just continue to find your own way as we move our way, work our way forward. So yeah, that's that. In terms of me trading on stream, you know, guys, I'm getting better, but like I said in yesterday's end of day analysis, I'm here. I feel like when I come here to stream, you know, I put some trades on for you guys, but I'm here to more like teach you and guide you and show you how this all works because, you know, I do have a conscience in terms of people following my trades. And if you follow, you know, in New York, if I take 1 or 2 trades, you know, you're not following every single trade I do, guys. I've got multiple prop accounts. I've got multiple live accounts. I will have different trades on at different times on different markets. I'll be in different directions. I mean, you're not going to be able to replicate what I do because I'm me and I do it my way, right? So that's the struggle for me is just, you know, here during New York, we can point out some good setups. So one thing I'm going to start doing since you guys are here and I'm trying to teach you how to fish is I'm analyzing. Yeah, I'll put some trades on. You want to follow them. I got to learn to not care. You know, if you guys take losses or wins on the back of me, that's irrelevant. So I'm going to point out setups. I'll explain what it means from a VolPro Edge perspective. You guys look at your charts. You like those setups, take the trade. Try to, you know, ask me questions. Okay, I'm in this trade. How should I manage it? So this is going to be more of a back and forth, you know, where I'm doing a lot of analysis. And then I would say that 80 to 90% of the time, and you guys let me know in the chat, I'm keeping you on the right side of the market with our morning sessions here and our end of day analysis. So just being on the right side of the market is huge. It takes away a lot of those losses fighting the market. And then when I leave the live streaming, I try to set you guys up with the perspective of, you know, sort of what I expect the rest of the day. And I'm getting a lot of DMs that's working out great. You guys are using that analysis, and that's the point of this. So I'm just kind of, you know, we're a month in and we're having a lot of success together. And I'm always thinking about, okay, how do I make this the best it can be for you guys? And then how do I also just keep doing what I need to do? And so it's kind of, I'm fitting it all together, which is a process, you know? What's up, Gluey? Morning, bro. Yeah, exactly. So go check, maybe Tim Nasi, if you're here, say hi. If you're not here, no worries. Post in, let's see, in the video fan dude. Good morning. David, buenos dias, amigo. I will talk about Sierra in a second. So, Tim Nasi, if you watch this later, maybe post what you're doing in trading plan ideas. Not many people are posting in trading plan ideas. So Scalper's got some stuff in there. Chill B was here, but he bailed. I don't know where he went. So trading plan ideas is where you want to post that, Tim Nasi, or anybody else who has good ideas, okay? All right, we're going to open here. Let's focus on the open real quick before we talk about Sierra charts. I'll show you what's going on with Sierra charts. David, we're very close. I mean, we're there. We have it developed. I'm just going to show you, you know, where we're at. All right, so you guys, you can see we went over this on the daily. We either have a case of the opposite because we're breaking through all this, which is what I suspect, or this is just another one of these crazy things, and Trump's going to come out and say, actually, Xi Jinping is not my best friend. I actually, on the playground, he stole my lunchbox, and then this market will go down. You know, he'll tweet something like that. So we'll have to see. But right now I'm bullish. Let's see if on the charts. Okay, so let's analyze this together, guys. 50,000 contract chart. Technically, when this closes here in about 10,000 contracts, it will be in a trend up. 1, 2, 3, right? So now you say, okay, well, we may have a pocket into an extension. Would I short that? No, because it's against what I perceive the daily energy to be right now, which is up. So I would be more apt to look for a pullback to get long. Here you have one. It's trending strongly. You have a little pocket here. You know, would I take that long right there? No, because we're right into this resistance level, right? It doesn't mean it won't go up. I just wouldn't take it because we're right into this resistance level. I would prefer to take something knocked back a little bit, right? So if we look at the daily and we say, well, where are the DMLs? Where are the levels we can lean against? Well, we've got the true average here. That was resistance to start the day. It's now broken, so it's support. We got the extension, DML, pink dot, envelope top, VolPro reaction support level, the blue line. You got all that stuff that broke. It's now here as support, okay? And that's coming in starting right at the true average, right there. And that level is 19,975, right? So if we go back to Sierra, we say, well, where is 19,975? Well, by golly, there it is, right at the broken, you know, then you got to find things to match it up to. So, okay, well, here on the 50,000 contract, we're having a crossover, right? Because we're sucking up the VolPro reaction support level above that red line, the resistance level. That reinforces that whole area there. And that's right into all that broken daily resistance that's now support. So that would be a good spot. So then I would overlay that over here and I would say, okay, well, let's see if we can get down there with the 10,000 volume. That would be a good place to buy. So I would just watch and wait for that. Now, what happens if we just continue to push higher here? Well, then I'll have to see how the charts are evolving, and then I plan out my next trade. So, you know, does that analysis, like that's the kind of stuff that I love doing for you guys here on the stream, because I want to show you my thought process, and then you guys can start to see the charts how I see them, and you start to develop your own thought process about it, right? Because this is all about learning how to trade, right? And I think, you know, for me, the goal with VolPro Edge is to create really good traders. And a month in, many of you are already becoming much better traders. And that's why I started this, okay? So that's what makes me happy. All right, so David, we will talk about Sierra charts in just a second. Video fan dude, AJ, what's up, dude? I think at one point I knew you were a video fan dude, but AJ, of course I should have known you were a video fan dude. I mean, that's a perfect name for you, man. Welcome, dude. Johan, gold squeezing up, NQ pulling back. Yeah, well, I guess it's relative, right? Because if you're looking at a 1 minute chart, you know, probably NQ is pulling back. If you're looking at a 10,000 volume chart, right now NQ is not pulling back, right? So it depends on our perspective and what we're looking at. Gold, I don't know when you got here, Johan. Hope you're doing well, by the way. Gold, in the analysis that we posted end of day last night, we said it was going to cycle probably from these DMLs down here to the middle up here. That's what's happening. We're also coming out of a huge monthly flash. So gold, I'm going to be looking to sell rallies, you know, as gold is maybe trying to push higher the next few days. It doesn't mean ultimately that we won't break this, but for now we have to contend with this flash exhaust, which means gold is probably a little overextended for the moment. So that'll be interesting to watch. Let's go to NQ. NQ looks like it wants to keep pushing. So if it does keep pushing, gold will probably start to dump a little bit. And yeah, interesting times, guys. I mean, look at this quarterly chart on NQ. Just bang, straight down, and then from here, right back up. I mean, we're doing well. We're navigating it well. That's all we can do. Find our spots. Okay, there's a nice little rollover flash. So, you know, would I short that? No. Even though the 50,000 did close here, I already explained why I wouldn't short this, because I wouldn't want to go against the daily energy. But hopefully, as the 10,000 is moving inside the envelope, maybe this will be the catalyst for a little bit of a pullback to that area we defined, you know, so we can maybe get long down there, right? Yeah, definitely, Johan. It can always go both ways. That's what I always try to look at. Like, anything can happen. And guys, I was reviewing my trade yesterday that I took with you guys. And, you know, I would say that I jumped the gun and made a mistake. And, you know, that happens. And here's why, because I was looking back at this trade at the highs, and I should have seen this, you know, in real time, but I think I just had the idea. Sometimes the mind virus will get me too. I had the idea that I just really liked that high, right? And so when this closed here, I was like, okay, I was looking for reasons to take it instead of reasons not to take it. And I find that my trading is much better if I look for reasons not to take a trade. And if I can't find any reasons to not take a trade, then I take the trade. But if you look for reasons to take the trade, that's where the mind virus can start creeping in, right? So write that down, guys. That's a really important piece of information, especially when you're using VolPro Edge and you've got the roadmap in front of you. All you have to do is learn how to read it. So here, with that big push up, you know, we kind of did break that extension, just barely, but still. So not only breaking that extension, but look at all the congestion DMLs. They're all way broken, right? So, you know, that would be reason enough right there with all those broken just to say, hey, look, wait. And then when that does that, that's the zone. That's why I put in the Discord yesterday afternoon, I said, I'm watching for a short at 20,150. And the reason was because I saw this extension DML sitting there. I saw this start to push up into this pocket deeper. So, you know, these are the things where trading can be a little bit nuanced sometimes. And, you know, I still make mistakes as well. And I was looking back at that trade and yeah, I jumped the gun there. So anyways, we're pulling back now. Great call, Johan. And let's see if we go down to the level. Again, I'm just going to share with you guys, you know, where I think, you know, decent spots to enter. So right now we're waiting for that 975-ish support area, right? 975. So then we want to see when we get down to this 975 level, you know, what's the 10,000 doing? Do we have a pattern? What's going on? Maybe there'll be a 2-bar push like that, straight into an extension. Boom, that'd be a long like that. If it keeps going down, you take a quick loss. Otherwise, you hold back toward the highs. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah, exactly, David. Exactly. That's the rollover flash. It's more curve, and you can see it works. Yeah. So these are all the little subtle nuances. I mean, you've got some support already here, but again, would I take this? No, because we're just not at those key daily levels. And I'm telling you guys, those daily DMLs, you know, when they hold or when they break, they're important zones mathematically based on previous price volume and things. So you want to wait and try to match up your intraday charts with those daily levels, especially. FAFO time. Yeah, well, what's going on at 10? Okay, so guys, here's a pullback. You're at an extension. You know, there could be support here. You know, this could rip up. It really could because you're at the VolPro reaction level. But again, I'm not going to take it because it's not at that daily level yet, right? But maybe you guys want to take that, you know, eat your hearts out. Do what you guys got to do. I'm not going to take it for that reason. Okay? And as Johan said, it's FAFO time until 10 a.m. What do we have coming out at 10? Let's check. Uh, 10 o'clock. What is that? Are you talking about factory orders, Johan? Because that's not really going to be that big of a announcement, right? We do have the Argentinian tax revenue at 3 p.m. So let's be fully aware of that. We've got French new car registrations year over year at 3 p.m. Spanish new car sales, Italy new car registrations. Guys, 3 p.m. is going to be a banger. Just kidding. Morning, Christian. So yeah, so look, there, nice little pocket flash. So That's where I'm just going to analyze and tell you guys, you know, hey, there's that. 10 hourly level after the open plus higher time frame players. Not so much news, but we'll use a thing to manipulate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They will always do their manipulation. Oh, the monsoon's awesome. Did you guys catch the monsoon video? So yesterday I worked just I'm working way too much right now, but you know, whatever. It's because I've got to get all this. There's Sierra and there's just all there's when you're building VolPro Edge, there's just always more to do. And I'm the kind of person where I just want to get through it and get it all done. So it's been a lot of hours in front of the screen lately. So yesterday, when I finally finished, I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to take the VolPro Edge mobile to the store because I want to move, you know. I got to exercise. So I was like, I'll just walk, you know. I enjoy walking. I think about things when I walk. So I walked to the store and just got caught in an absolute monsoon. It was just pissing down. So when I came out of the store, like it was like skyfall, right? I was like, well, I did buy a beer for the house. Well, you know what? I'll just stand here under the roof outside the supermarket like a homeless person and have a beer while I wait for this monsoon. And that took about an hour, but I have my phone and I'm answering DMs. So that was pretty funny. I met a nice guy named Jose from Nicaragua. He was a builder. He also had the same idea. He wasn't going to get wet. He got a beer. We chatted. I worked on my Spanish. That was cool. Yeah, that was intense. Really intense. So yeah, and Johan, I got your message about Stacy Burke. Yeah, I kind of remember seeing, you know, I'm sure he's got valuable stuff. Kind of the way I work is that I use what I developed. It works for me, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at, but I love it when people are using different things from different people. Um, you know, Rafa in our chat, he's doing that. Tim Nassi's doing that. I think Christian, you're starting to do that too. And by the way, Christian, you should go back and rewind the video and then catch up on 2 times speed, so you'll see what I was talking about earlier. Um, Tim Nassi had a really good idea for those of you guys who are struggling to read all the intraday DMLs. You don't have to do that. You can just run a naked intraday chart against your daily DMLs, right? So it's really cool. I'll show you what that looks like, guys, on Sierra charts, okay? You guys want to quickly see what that would look like? Let's do that. So on Sierra, we'd go over here and we would go chart, duplicate chart to chart book. And we would send that over to our current chart book. Boom. Yeah, I think you guys will like this. This is worth going over. So that will send your Nasdaq daily chart. I'll do videos on all this when Sierra's ready, so you guys are familiar with how to use it. So there's your daily chart now in the chart book. And now let's just say like, let's just, knock the 50,000 down real quick. Let's bring the 10 like this, right? Let's go here. Let's go studies. Let's hide, apply. Let's go to study price overlay, I believe it is. And we got to go settings. The daily. Oh, we got to use styles and widths. So use styles and widths from source study. Yes. Use colors. Yes. Boom. Okay. So this is what's so cool about Sierra. And these levels get, they match up really, really nicely. They actually put the correct levels on the intraday chart. Sierra is amazing, guys. Like there's just no. So this is something like what Tim Nassi is doing, right? Yeah. Hey, Tim Nassi, I was talking about you, and I'm sharing your idea with the chat because I think it's a great idea. And it's something like this that you're doing, right? Except maybe with 15-minute charts, and then you're manually, like you said, you're manually laying it out on TradingView. Yeah, on Sierra charts, you don't have to manually do it, and it's pretty cool. Look, it'll just throw it from here onto here. So, this is what he's doing. So if you just remember these levels here, I gotta kind of go back further on the chart. Let me just change the data limiting. Let's see. It should be, I got 30 days. Let's see, why is that doing that? I don't know why I want to go back. But it's fine. We got a couple days we can use. So he's just using these levels, you know, to pick off trades like this. And he's just taking it from one level to the next. So, I mean, I'm cherry picking an example here, but just as an example, if you had a feeling about, you know, this DML yesterday, well, there you go. And then you target, well, where are the closest ones? Here. There you go. I mean, so he's doing that and it's working for him, which I think is awesome. So this is something that you guys can do. I may have talked about this before. I don't trade like this, but I can see where it would be super valuable, because now all of a sudden you're just taking, and you can do this with, you can put the weekly levels on here if you want, and then you can pull out your time frame. I mean, there's really just a ton of different ways to do this, and these levels are very, very powerful. So I just want to share that with you guys. Let's go ahead and minimize that, bring this back, studies, let's hide, unhide, apply. Okay. So I'm still, guys, the reason I'm going into all this stuff is because I'm not interested in longing or shorting up here. I'm waiting to see if we really break out, or if we come back to that 75 level where we have that the daily DMLs, right? So that's why I'm going over this stuff, because we might as well use our time together here this morning wisely. And I am waiting for my developer. I'll show you guys what we're dealing with right now with Sierra, okay? So I've uploaded the DML file to my Sierra, and when I go into, so I obviously I'm an approved user on my Sierra DMLs, right? On my DLL, the DLL, right? So if I go studies here, let's just turn this off real quick so you can see, like, okay, so here, right, this is what you'll see when you're in Sierra, and you go, okay, well, studies, you're going to go to add custom study, right? Because when I set you as an approved user, when you turn on your Sierra charts platform, it's going to automatically fetch my DLL, the VolPro Edge DLL, from the Sierra servers. It's going to fetch it and throw it onto your Sierra charts. Be like, wow, that's like magic. Okay. So then what you do is you just go to, you'll have my charts, you'll have my chart book, right, downloaded. And then you just have to go to, I'll do videos on this, right? But so you go to add custom study like that. Boom. And then you'll see at the bottom, you see VolPro Edge indicators, client, right? Okay, perfect. And then you're going to click on VolPro Edge indicators and you're going to go add. And then this is what's happening right now. For whatever reason, this is what I have to figure out with the developer. Custom DLL study, you are not allowed to use this study. It's like, well, the fuck I am, I developed it. Just kidding. So I'm an approved user and I'm still getting blocked. So I'm asking my developer, why is that happening? And he'll figure it out. But in terms of the actual DLL and the indicators and all that, I've already tested them all. They're working perfectly. So they all work. Now it's just this last little authorization thing that we're dealing with. So that's where we are, David. And I'm hoping that my developer will get this ready for you guys today. We'll figure it out. But that's kind of just where we are. Let's turn off the custom. That's pretty cool. And I'm excited for you guys to have the option of Sierra and TradingView. And if you guys, you watched the end of day analysis yesterday. So we're getting the pullback we're looking for now. Hopefully this will break down and trap some shorts and give us an opportunity to go long, or maybe Trump will tweet and we'll all be screwed. We'll have to find out. So you watched the end of day analysis yesterday, and I talked a lot about why there are differences in the levels for TradingView versus Sierra charts, especially when you look back at monthly, quarterly, yearly charts. And that's because TradingView uses date adjusted rollover data. They're rolling over on a specific date. And that is not a professional way to do it. A professional way to do it is to do volume back adjusted. So here, if I go to my daily chart here for Sierra and I go chart settings, and I go here like this, and I go symbol here, continuous futures contract, volume based rollover, back adjusted. That is very, very, very important. And these levels will be better because they're volume adjusted, right? Whereas TradingView is using date adjusted. So it's not that TradingView is bad. TradingView has been great. And people, so all the levels you see here on TradingView daily, they're 100% valid because they're based on the math of the TradingView, you know, price volume infrastructure, right? But the Sierra charts, in my opinion, is going to be a bit superior because of how they're tabulating their data with the back adjusted rollover data. Does that make sense to you guys? And a lot of people don't even care about the monthly, the quarterly, so it's kind of irrelevant. But for me, I'm kind of a stickler. I like to have, you know, the best data I can, and for me, that's Sierra charts. And Sierra is actually cheaper when you open up a brokerage account, you know, with AMP or Iron Beam or Edge Clear, and you throw like $200 or $300 into that brokerage account and you just let it sit there. You don't have to trade it. Now you've got a brokerage account that you can hook up to your Sierra charts. You can get the package 11 that I have and your data, full CME data, real-time live. All that all in is like $50 a month. And then you've got the best charting package in the world, the best data in the world for $50, right? So TradingView is just kind of there to rip off retail traders. I'm not saying it's bad. Like, it's been great. I keep my TradingView because I like to see what's going on TradingView. But this is where I'm at with Sierra versus TradingView if I have to break it down. Does that make sense to you guys? And these are things that most people don't really think about because, you know, why would you, unless you've been around for a long time and you understand, you know, the subtleties of what we're dealing with the data. Let's see. Miyagi looked crazy. Yeah, the monsoon was definitely nuts. Yeah, this is really, guys, this is cool when you start to get into like the minutia of everything. Can you translate EMO to trade lingo for me? What's EMO, Johan? Sorry, I'm not picking that up. I'd love to translate it for you, but let me know what you mean by that. Yeah, AJ, Sierra looking sexy. Beautiful. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. I love Sierra, man. All right. And that's not to put down TradingView. TradingView is, look, this is the thing too, guys. Like, people don't think that like if you've not been profitable on TradingView that you're going to come to Sierra and be profitable. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you can look at somebody like Rafa or, you know, Tim Nasi now. The way they're using TradingView is fantastic. It's great. They're doing well. You know, Cam, I think Cam had a baseball game. He's a college pitcher. I don't know if he's here, but you know, Cam, Darren, like people are doing, dude, I've used TradingView pretty much exclusively the last month because I wanted to be on the same page as you guys, and I'm making money. So you can make money with whatever charting system you have. It's just that Sierra is superior. Oh, DML. Okay. Johan, a DML is a dynamic market level. So these are market levels. Just think of them as support and resistance. If you've got the DMLs above you like that and that, they're resistance, right? If they're below you, they're support. And yeah, you're going to see them all over the place and they're going to look conflicting, but they're not. When you learn how to read them, you know, with the types of trading and, you know, all the stuff that we got going on here, they're really powerful levels based on volume and price that I created over a very long period of time. And I was inspired by my mentor. I can't really say his name publicly. You guys know who he is. The reason I can't say his name publicly is because there's a thing called, I forget what it's called legally, but I asked my lawyer about this and he's like, nah, just don't mention the name publicly because, you know, they can say that you're using their name for marketing. I'm like, okay. So anyways, you guys know who he is. And I just built on what he had, and I had ideas over the years that just made like the levels way, way, way better. So that's what a dynamic market level is. That's a DML, Johan. and they're pretty cool. So, David, sounds good. Yes. So let's see. Oh, now I got to go higher up. Sierra looking sexy. AJ, yeah. Tanasi, nice. I'm doing it manually. Yeah. Daily DML levels, adding them on my 15-minute. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially KLR. If you're here, I know you can't comment for whatever reason, the YouTube conspiracy against you. Sorry about that, but you can comment in Discord if you want, and I'll relay the message to the group. I got your DM, by the way, KLR. I really appreciate it. That means a lot when you guys send me DMs like that, and I do really appreciate it. So KLR, this is something too that you can think about doing what Tim Nasi is doing, where you set up the naked 15-minute chart and then you overlay your daily DMLs and you look for setups like that. But I am going to do the trend video. We're going to start with, I've already started working on it, guys, where I'm developing mechanical systems for you. You know, for those who are taking time to see VolPro Edge as a whole, I'm developing mechanical systems. We'll start with a trend-based system that's going to have very, very specific rules for you guys. And then you can start just looking through the markets, looking for those rules to match up, and then take those trades. And I have no doubt you'll do very well with that. So that's what I'm going to start with this weekend. I was going to do it this week, but I have to get Sierra charts finished first, so then I can do that for you guys. But that's gonna be cool. I'm excited about that. And then I'll do a separate video. I'll put that in the course module section. I'll do a separate video for those of you who really want specific mechanical rules for congestion trading, or, you know, whatever it is. I'll make like the top 5 trading plans. I'll start with trend, and then over the next few weeks, we'll add more and more and more. That way you guys can start working on that. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see, David. Oh, didn't you have the chart setups like this some months? Oh, right, I answered that. Yeah, I've looked at charts like that before, but I don't trade like that. So Johan, yeah, you got the DML now, what that means. Louis, so that 10,000 volume is in congestion right now. Yeah, exactly, Louis. It's in congestion. And then you'd say, well, you know, do I want to play the congestion range right here? I mean, you could. You're not in a bad place. So you see, this is why it comes down to, like, what's your trading plan? Like, I don't know if you've read Mark Douglas's Trading in the Zone. If you haven't read it, guys, you should really, really read it. But he talks about the different levels that you go through as a trader, right? And he recommends that you start off more mechanical in nature, because that's going to teach you to follow rules, learn how to, you know, play with probabilities, all that kind of stuff. And then he talks about, as you graduate through the different levels of having success as a trader, eventually you're going to get to a level where you're using whatever system it is you use, and you've also got an enormous amount of intuition and experience to draw from. That's how I trade, right? So that's why, you know, I can give you guys, you know, the signposts and teach you how to use VolPro Edge. But then this is why we're going to have to help you guys. Some people are already coming up with systems on their own, which is awesome. They're already making money, getting payouts, never gotten payouts before. But then some people, you know, you need more guidance on setting up a mechanical system, which is what we're going to do. And then, you know, like Gluey, this is where I'm connecting this back to what Gluey just asked. Are we in congestion? Yeah, we are in congestion. And this is not really a terrible place to be looking for congestion longs. I mean, if your trading plan was, hey, I just want some support on the 50,000, I want to be, if the 50,000 is trending to the upside, I'm just going to start taking good congestion long patterns. Well, there's a pocket, you know, the extension held. Where's your target? The other side of the envelope. Fine. Okay, here, you know, you're at the congestion DML, extension DML. Maybe you got wicked out if your stop was below that low. Fine, right? So, you know, these are the things that you guys will start to see. I don't like to mess around with this small stuff, because that's just not what I do. And guys, I do a lot of different things, you know, like I'll have many different trades open on different accounts, on different symbols. It's like, how am I going to like relay all that to you? And then sometimes I'll just see something and be like, I'm closing that, I'm adding to that. Like this is how I do things, right? So that's why I'm trying to, you know, teach you guys how to make it your own. Because I don't think that, even if you take, you know, really profitable traders like me, if you try to follow those traders, it's going to be very difficult, because you're not like with me 24/7. right? I hope that makes sense. So that's kind of what and that's why I started, VolPro Edge, was to be a trader development program. And so far it's turning out to be a really good trader development program. I mean, you go here, right here. Here's our website, built by yours truly, not bad. HTML coded it myself with a little help from ChatGPT, but still not bad, right? So if you go here to the testimonials here, and then this is where a lot of you guys are, which I really appreciate. And you see that in terms of trader development program, we're off to a really, really good start. Like, a lot of people are getting it really fast, which is great. And a lot of people, which I would say is the norm, it's going to take some time to settle in and understand things and start seeing things clearly. And then you'll start to make it your own. And I'll give you trading plan ideas, like I'm going to do in this upcoming, and this is going to be very, very rules based. And then you'll take that and then shape it to what you want it to be, right? So I think we're making really, really good progress, and I'm looking forward to more of you guys getting your first payouts, and I'm excited about May. I've got some goals, personal goals for May. April was a bit of a slower month. I still did very well compared to normal income, but in terms of my trading income, I made less than what I usually make. So I'm hoping May, the markets, and that's because the markets weren't that, even though we stayed out of trouble, there were just less opportunities from my perspective. So I just took fewer trades and I still did fine, but I'm hoping May kind of settles here and can get back to, I'd like to get some big payouts from Top Step, which I'm absolutely certain I will. The Tradeify, maybe, we'll see. If I blow those Tradeifys out, which I might, then we'll see if I reignite those. Because to be honest, Top Step without the consistency rule right now, it just makes a lot of sense. And I don't need to overpay for a straight sim to funded account with a 20% consistency rule when I can very easily get as many XFAs as I want. And, then there's no consistency except for the $200 a day thing, So probably I'll do that with Top Step. But I'm looking forward to getting back into that because April was very, just I was like in a VolPro Edge fog, launching everything, doing everything. So you're still in congestion here on the 10,000. Could definitely keep pushing higher from here. And that's a decision you guys will have to make. If you feel it and you want to buy up here, you got to do what you got to do. I wouldn't buy here, but that's me, right? So let's check the trading chat. KLR, okay, good. Nice to see you. I told you I'd see it. Thank you for your DM. Guys, YouTube has a conspiracy against John G. John, are you here? If you are, let me know in the Discord chat. KLR and John G and several other people who are subscribers cannot comment for whatever reason. And I've even turned off the, hey, you got to be a subscriber thing to comment. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube. John's there. Hey, John, good to have you, man. Guys, I see your comments here. So if anything you want to ask or say, just do it right there. I'll see it. I can talk about it. So, you can, anything you want to know. Good to have you guys here. Rafa just passed another 100K Apex account. Guys, Scalper, Rafa's on fire. I mean, I love it. It's fantastic. Put YouTube into theater mode and you can comment there. Oh, interesting. Okay. So maybe there's a solution for John G and KLR. Bluey had the same problem. He said, put YouTube into theater mode. I don't even know what theater mode is, but maybe you guys can do that. John's in theater mode. John, can you still not comment? So Johan, I'm long. Nice. Good job, Johan. You're doing good. Can't wait for those videos. Yeah, those are going to be cool. I look forward to doing those, Gluey. I mean, I got started on them, so. NQ moving, yep. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. And we really still, I mean, we haven't gone that far yet. I mean, we've gone from a low of 760 to a high of 108. So, there's still a lot of range left to be done. We certainly could just start squeezing up through these highs. And if that happens, you just turn on your trend playbook for the 10,000. But I'm waiting for down here because that's just what I want to do. So John, I'm in theater mode, just widescreen. Okay, weird. What about KLR? Are you able to put into theater mode and then comment in the YouTube chat? Okay, yeah, it's got to be something like that. You should ask ChatGPT, John. Okay, good answers. I'm just gonna grab some more coffee, guys. I'll be right back. All right, back. We got some fresh coffee. So like right here, if you think this is going to break out here, which it might, then you say, okay, well, I'm going to look for congestion exit on the 10,000. Great. So if you're looking for congestion exit, right, then you'd be, if that's what you're planning on, you don't have to wait till that high gets broken. As we start to push up here, you're in. And if we come back inside the range, you're out. But if it works and it keeps going, you're in from a good spot. Or if you like that area from down there before and you want to pick off that congestion area, but let's say your trading plan said, no, I look for these congestions, but I don't want to just hold back toward that side of the envelope. I'm going to hold for congestion exit, right? That could be what you're doing. So these are all things that you guys will have to figure out that I'll help you with, because like we're all so different. Like I'm the kind of person where when I'm in a trade, I like to see it working relatively quickly. I mean, it depends what time of day. Asia is a little different, obviously, right? But some people have no problem. They can just sit in a trade for a while, and other people, they like really huge stops. Some people like tight stops. I do different things at different times based on what I'm trading and why. But for you guys to be mechanical in the beginning, I think it's going to be key. Number one, to start getting some profits and getting some payouts, right? To ease the financial burden. And number two, to teach yourself to follow a system and then you teach, okay, I know I can follow the trend system now. Great. And then once you're following that, if it's working spectacularly well for you, don't change it. But then eventually you might say, you know what, I'm going to add the congestion system and I'm going to start trading trend and congestion. And that'll give you a little balance to your portfolio, right? You guys see where I'm going with that, right? Let's see, I'm reading the comments. Johan, I'm fine for reversal. Stop loss and positive. Nice. Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to push here. I'm with you on that now that we're charging after these highs. Ralph, hourly ES gave a good long setup with a trend pocket. Just wasn't quite confirmed, but the 15 was flashing, hesitated, mixed, didn't take it. Well, that'll happen, Ralph. I mean, at least you're seeing it. Was looking at the oncoming stacked cores. Can you peek at it? Yeah, one sec, Ralph. Let's see. So hourly. Are you talking ES or NQ, Ralph? So I know you like to watch ES, right? ES, okay. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fantastic analysis. I mean, right here with that hourly right there closing, and you've got all this right here as support into that pocket right there. Yeah, and then the 15, there's a nice little flash. It challenges the extension and the core and sucks back up. Yeah, that's you saw it correctly, man. Good read. And then don't try not to get too nitpicky on these out here, especially on the minute charts. That's what I've noticed on the minute charts. You know, just if you like what you see here and you're in a good spot here, just, you know, take the trade. That was a good read. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Same as NQ. I just think NQ gives like better range. So let's see, John, KLR will try. I think I might have the same issue as John. Okay, KLR. Yeah, you guys must have, there must be like some weird YouTube setting or something. Yeah, NQ is just a little faster, Ralph. All right, so we're probably going to start squeezing here. I mean, the opposite is well underway. So now you just, you know, turn on your trend playbook. If you want an aggressive trend playbook, you know, you just start to look to pick off moves to the true average there, you know, as we're pushing higher. The more conservative trend playbook that I use is I wait for a pullback to a pocket, try and jump on that way. Sometimes I don't get it, but when I do, I get a really good risk reward from that perspective. So yeah. See what happens here. And KLR, what do you think? Did you catch the beginning of what I said? It's in relation to our to your DM. I think I got a lot of feedback like yours that said similar things, and that's what I need to focus on. And I think the way I'm handling this stream today, I feel much more comfortable, much more relaxed because I'm in my element of guiding you guys. And I'm still waiting for my setup, but then I'm going to point setups out along the way. Hey, this is the type of trading we're in right now. Hey, you could do this if you want to do this. And then that's teaching you guys to do stuff. And just always staying on the right side of the market. I mean, not always. Obviously, sometimes we have to adjust, but you also see we adjust quickly, right? So, I mean, you guys tell me, but since you've been here and you know, you've been watching the end of day analysis, we've been doing the live streams. I mean, do you remember when you were in candlestick land and like you didn't know if like what was going on and why, and now you've got like a roadmap to what's happening? Doesn't it build like a very high degree of confidence? Yeah, thanks, Keller. I appreciate that. Yeah, and for me, that's what I do all day. And I just got to realize the purpose of the live stream with you guys. If I see a great setup, I'll take it. But along the way, I can point out other things. Like, hey, you guys want to do this? Do this. You want to practice this? Do this. That's the point. See if my developer got back about Sierra. I must have to send him a message. He's got COVID now, poor guy, but he's doing really good. Programming for us while he's got COVID, which is appreciated. Okay, I'm just going to send a quick message to my developer here, so I'm just muting. Oh no, Signal didn't notify me. I've got 3 messages from him. Let's see what he says. Hang on. Guys, I'm just listening to my developer. He's giving me a lot of information on the Sierra DLL. So I'm still here. I'm muting because I'm listening to this. So we're squeezing, guys. Have fun. All right, guys, sorry about that. So my developer, he thinks there's some sort of a conflict where, I've got other DLLs and when Sierra's downloading the client DLL, so I just asked him, send, I might add a couple of you guys who have Sierra right now. So like whoever's here right now that has Sierra open, I might add your username to the approved list. And then when you reopen your Sierra, you'll see that the VolPro Edge DLL gets automatically downloaded into your Sierra. And then I want to see if when you go to add custom studies, does it add it for you? Maybe it does. Or are you blocked also like me? So maybe it works for you guys. So maybe David, ¿tú estás aquí, amigo? ¿Dónde está David? He's probably in school. If you're in school, David, don't worry about it. So now we're getting a little bit of a pullback here. If we pulled back into a pocket here, I'd probably try a long. Could we get flushed and screwed? I guess. But the daily range still hasn't been that much overall. We haven't attacked the VolPro reaction level on Sierra yet. So I think we still got some room to go. Let's see what happens. So guys, who's here who has Sierra right now? See, I wait for the close, but I might miss it. Like, that's not a bad spot to get in. You've got a lot of DMLs stacked right there. And it's also, some people like to get in there, and then if it goes down here, they add some more. I mean, so it's all just different different types of ways of doing it. I'm waiting for a close. We've got 7,000, so 3,000 contracts left. The footprint as of yet is not super negative, right? Guys, are your comments working? Doesn't look like they're working. Tim, okay, you got Sierra. Nice. And Tim, what's your username in Discord? I forget. I lose track of everything. Different Discord names, personal names, YouTube names. Okay, so in the Discord, you're just Tim. Nice. All right, 1 second, Tim. I'm just watching this here. See where this closes. I would like this reaction to come down and give us a little pocket. Then I would try a long. If it was wrong, I would, because this is the kind that if it's right, it should pick up and go quickly if you get long. Yeah, we're coming out of that pocket there on the 50,000, but I still think we're gonna keep pushing based on everything we're seeing now. But who knows? So we got about 1,300 contracts left. We're just waiting. I want to see if we can get this reaction level down into that pocket. Who's that? Is that LeBron? You on? So if we could flush down here at these core DMLs, that'd be a really good spot to get long. Hundred contracts left. I think that's a good spot to try a long right in here. Could be wrong if it's going for congestion, entrance down. I mean, if it's correct, it should get back up here. This should be a false flash. So you'd want to see it breaking through the middle of the envelope there. Comments. I'll get you comments in a second. I'm just watching. Let's see, like, where would the target be? I would say like up around that extension up there at 20,200-ish. Just catch up on your comments in a sec, guys. And then you can jump in and out. I mean, you can do whatever you want. So hopefully this is a case of the opposite happening and that flash will fail and will squeeze up there quickly. So I'm still holding a little bit. I mean, if it comes back down here, I won't be thrilled about it. Probably would cut it at break even. I'm just looking for a squeeze if possible. On gold, gold's still up 1.3%. Okay, I'm going to pull off a little here, guys. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I think it's going to keep going. But if it comes back down here, I'd probably just try and re-enter. Around, 37 or something. And if it keeps squeezing, that's okay. I just picked up like 600 per account. I do think it's going to go to that 200 level. All right, I wanted to catch up on comments here. So for you guys, if you're still long, I think that 200 level is a pretty good bet. Let me see here. Just catching up on comments here, guys. Give me a second. Good. Yeah. Oh, Austin Reeves. Yeah. Austin Reeves. That guy's good, Yon. Oh, John. Guys, let's give a warm welcome to John. I have a feeling that KLR is going to be close behind. If John got in, KLR, you can do it. Nice. That's cool, John. Awesome, bro. Excited. Yeah, so look, that was a good example of, we thought we were looking to get long down here. We never got long down here. And then it was like, okay, well, waiting for the pullback. There was the pullback. I waited for the close, and when it closed there, I just got in and, took profits here, but I think it's going to 200. So that's just, the point is, okay, the playbook. What's the playbook? You think the 50,000 is, kind of squeezing. Well, then you don't have to wait for a 50,000 or whatever you're using. If you're using an hourly, whatever the higher time period intraday chart is, if you think that's squeezing, just wait for the pullback on your lower time period. If it's 15-minute, 5-minute, in this case is our 10,000, and then that's where you get long. And then your stop is just here. Like, that's got to hold. If this thing's squeezing, like, it's got to hold. So I think it's going to keep squeezing. But oftentimes NQ will want to come back and shake out these people and freak them out. So, sometimes I'll pull off like up here and then I'll try and re-enter here, and sometimes I'll get it and then I'll get another push back up and make more money, or sometimes it'll go without me. It's kind of like a personal preference. Who didn't get long? You? Yeah, I didn't get long down here. On my personal account, I got long last night here and took profit here. That was a good trade. So now if they flush this back down here, I'm going to get long again. See what they do. Be looking at these DMLs down here. But if it doesn't make it there, anywhere in this general area, I think I said 37, 38, right? Somewhere in there. So we got about 800 contracts till this closes. See, that's what NQ likes to do. It just likes to piss people off and come back to the entry like that. See? So it's about to close. I'll try to get long in here at like 39. I'll put an order there. If it gets filled, it gets filled. Because this 50,000 still looks very strong to the upside. So I think you can run the congestion playbook here. Okay, I'm filled. I want to see a quick reaction back up. If that doesn't happen, I'll cut it very fast. So far, it's kind of not. I'd like to see it pushing higher faster. All right, I'm cutting that. I cut it with a small profit because I want to see a quicker, it still might punch from here, guys, but it may want to come down here lower. So that's how I managed that trade. I think I picked up like 150 bucks on that or something. I just didn't like what I was seeing here with them trying to push. Does, you know, it may go up from here, but I'm just kind of watching it carefully. Well, for those that stuck it out, good job. Johan, you still long? Are you holding to the end of the day? No, that's a good sign right there when you see those reaction levels shift like that. We're going back up here. You see, one of the things that's hard for me copy trading on Tradeify, which I hate with Tradeivate, is that you can't use brackets on copy trading accounts, and that really drives me nuts because it's you know, it's nice to just be able to leave your stop there and then be like, okay, if the stop gets hit, it gets hit. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay in. But like on Tradeify, I go in on the DOM at market, and then like, so anyways, it is what it is. Still, that's not the point. The point is, you can see the playbook, what I just explained. You guys have any questions about that aspect of the playbook? While you think about those questions, guys, just give me a few minutes. How we doing, guys? Are we rich yet? All right. I just kind of, if this thing flushes back down here, that'd be a gift. I'd like to buy that. So that's why I pulled that off. I still don't, you don't know what's going to happen until after the fact. It looks like the fact that it's held this long, it probably you're still pretty good. I'm just holding out. Let's see. Did I miss any comments? Added 5 and moved. So in positive, went up. Nice. I'm here. I'm here to entertain. Don't worry, Yawn. I will not let you down. Nice job. Good job, guys. For those who took the long here. For those who took it here. And again, if you didn't take it, don't worry about it. This is not about, this is just about me analyzing for you guys, keeping you on the right side of the market. You implement whatever plan you want to implement. I mean, I get DMs from guys that they have strategies that they use, but they just use the information from the end of day analysis to run the strategy on the correct side of the market. And that has taken away a lot of their losses, right? The end of day analysis is not always right, but it's pretty good. So let's wait and see where this closes. I'm waiting for a response. My developer, I don't know if I already told you guys, but he thinks it's an issue with some DLL conflicts. So Tim, right, you've got Sierra. David, I'm gonna send you. Are you available right now, David and Tim, or David, are you in school? Yeah, exactly, Gluey. Exactly. Always want to trade in line with the higher time period and the daily. Taking 1/5 the trades I used to, yeah. So Tim Nasi taking 1/5 right. And probably those 4/5 that you're not taking, I know a lot of them could have been losses, right? So Tim, you're available. Okay, David and Tim, we'll do a Sierra test in a second. Let me just watch this, because if this flushes down here, I want to buy it. If that extension holds. They might just go after the stops below these lows. Let's see if we can get a nice flush down here. And KLR, you should be able to figure out how to comment YouTube, because John G figured it out. So, hey, John, maybe you can post in the Discord and tag KLR and tell her what you did that worked, because then she could try that too. Got about 1,000 contracts left. You can see that they're pressing. They're not getting a lot for it yet. $50,000 still trending up. So we're going for congestion entrance on the 10,000. And the congestion support level here should be strong based on the 50,000, but I would prefer them to flush it a little further. There's your close. That's not a bad buy there. I'm going to wait. And the reason I'm going to wait, guys, is just because we broke these congestion DMLs ever so slightly. So I'm just going to respect that. We might just go straight up from here. If you got a high tolerance for risk, it's not a terrible spot. I'm looking, I think maybe they want to get back to the middle of the envelope in here. I mean, we might just squeeze right up off this true average, guys. That's possible. And if so, I'm not in. Maybe some of you'll be in. Depends. I'll look for like right here, just below that low here. And it may not go there, but that's what I'm doing. All right, Gluey. Good night, my friend. Gluey's in the Gold Coast. Oh, thanks, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, helping KLR out. Yeah, I think we're going to, I mean, I have a strong feeling we're going to be up the whole day. Just the question is always trying to figure out where to get long from, right? So, but I'm waiting for just a little bit more down here. All right, so David, let's just try this real quick, and then Tim, we'll get to you. So David, I have your, so David, can you shut down your Sierra charts? Okay. Okay, no problem. I'm getting your username. And then Tim, we'll try you in a sec too. All right, let's see. Just logging into Sierra here, guys, for a sec. Let's go to. You gotta remember where I go here. Oh, here. Okay. Okay. So David, shut Sierra down. Like, you know, turn it off, log out, because I have to add you as a user, and then when you turn it back up, when you turn it back on, let's see if it automatically downloads the DLL into your system, and if you're able to open it or you get the same error. That would be a good test. So account name. So let me know when your account's, when it's off, David. Yeah. Okay. So it says here on my Sierra Charts back office, added new account name. That's your David account. If the user is currently running Sierra, they will need to restart Sierra in order to gain access to the studies. Okay. I don't have the subscription. I understand. Let's see. I don't know if you're able to get the studies even if you don't have a subscription. I'm not sure how that works. Tim, you've got a subscription, right? You got actual like package 11, market data, all that stuff. We can try with Tim. Yeah, okay. And Tim, do I have your Sierra username? Do you want to DM me that in the Discord, or do I already have it? Probably going to be pushing up now from support back up here. I mean, I don't mind waiting for down here. But that's why, you know, for people who are more aggressive, you just get in and you go. I'm kind of more interested right now in figuring out how to get Sierra working for everybody. Tim, okay, I got it. There it is. Thank you. Got it there. Okay, let's see. So Tim, turn your Sierra. Hold on, I'm gonna add you. You can turn your Sierra off. Okay, you've been added, Tim. So when you restart your Sierra and you go to a blank chart like this, you should be able to, studies, add custom study, and then see if VolPro is there, and then see if you can add the VolPro indicators to your chart, or if you get blocked. Then we'll get some information on what's going on. What's going on? I gotta shave. I gotta get a haircut. My parents are coming. My mom will lambaste me if I'm not groomed. She doesn't like an ungroomed son. I'm not a groomer, guys. I'm a surfer. $11, David. Once, amigo. It's good. I'm glad you're laughing. Thank you for the surfing emoji, Timnasi. Right? So let's see if we can get our little flusheroo down into 20, just below 2120 is kind of where I like it. Same error message you got. Okay, good. Good to know. So I will tell that to my developer, because now he was thinking maybe there was a problem because I have other DLLs he was working on and this and that. Okay. But the cool part is, right, Tim, at least when you restarted, the DLL is coming into your machine, right? So that's good. We're making progress. So let me tell my developer that. Hey guys, I'm still here. I'm just going to be right back. Got to refill my coffee. Aaron, the commodity, sent me a message. He's one of my founders. So we're talking about getting him to scale up. He's so good. And we're trying to get him to scale from, 2, 3 contracts, up to 5, 7, 10 maybe. So, and then the developer, I sent him a message and I told him, Tim, that's cool. At least they showed up in your, machine, Tim. So that's at least cool. Johan, NQ might get naughty on the full hour. Oh yeah, she could be nasty. Let's wait and see. Wait and see. All right, guys, just give me a sec here. I'm just getting some coffee. I'll hang out with you for a little longer. I think we've had a good session. We've learned a lot. Be right back. All right, guys. We're back. That might be all she wrote on that pullback. Yeah, that wouldn't have been a bad spot. I don't know why. I kind of missed that DML there. That was not a bad spot when the DML's right at the VolPro reaction support level, but I kind of just wasn't paying attention to that. But that's in our zone here of support. So, well, I think we're gonna keep pushing, but see if we get lucky and get a little flusheroo. As Johan said, she could get nasty here, heading into. I shouldn't feminize the Nasdaq. That's not fair. So the Nasdaq is going to try to get nasty at 11 in the morning on the hour, according to Johan. Maybe, let's see. I would love a little flush to try to get long. Yep, I'll be alert. Oh, where did my phone go? Sorry, guys, gotta get my phone. All right, guys, let's see what happens here. 11 a.m. I would love, a flush down here. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. See if I get it or not. You can see a little bit of volatility coming here on the hour. So that's also important to note. If you're trading volume charts, there will be, keep an eye because liquidity comes in on the hour. Lately, there's also a lot of liquidity that for whatever reason comes in around 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Close Nasdaq. Nice. Oh, here we go. She's a squeezing. I think we're going to go higher the rest of the day. I really do. So, I think we probably want to get up to the reaction at least. I mean, that's 20,300. That's 150 points higher. Could even go after these DMLs at 20,400 today. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So I think if you guys just focus on trying to pick good spots to get long today, you'll have a good day. I'm going to be working on Sierra charts. I want to get to that before my developer goes to bed. So I will do that, you guys. And I think we had a good stream. I felt like we had some rhythm in this stream. I hope you guys felt the same way. And I will see you guys in the Discord and over the weekend. I will do those videos, KLR, and the rest of you that want the mechanical system. Hopefully we'll have Sierra charts ready by the end of today, I hope. Hope we can get it figured out pretty quickly. Then I can add all you guys and you'll be able to rock and roll with Sierra. So that's how we'll do. Thanks. Please give a like out the door if you haven't already. I appreciate that. And I will see you guys next time. But good job. Hope you guys are having a good day. If you're going to keep trading, I'm going to keep watching while I'm working on Sierra charts. So I'm bullish. And I think that's going to be a good day. All right. Take care, you guys. Thanks for being here. Love you all. We got a great group, and have a nice weekend.